In today's video, I'm going to install Retrobat on this USB thumb drive. What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. If you could hit that like and subscribe button, I would appreciate it. So this is a 128 gig USB thumb drive. I'm going to install Retrobat on this. And if you don't know what Retrobat is, it lets you play all your favorite retro games on your Windows PC. It has all the emulators or most of the emulators set up for you already. And by installing it on a USB drive, it's going to make it nice and portable. So it can easily move the whole setup to a different PC if you like. So let's get right into it. First thing you want to do is head over to the Retrobat website. Read through this if you have a chance. I would definitely recommend doing that. And you'll see that it's open source. It supports a ton of systems, even the Nintendo Switch, which is great. Alright, so now let's go ahead and download Retrobat. I'm going to hit this blue button right here that says download Retrobat. And you'll get to this screen. There's another download button here. I'm going to click that. Now, before I do that, I just do want to mention the section on the right that says dependencies, that Retrobat needs dependencies like DirectX or Visual C++ to function. I feel like most computers have this, and you're not going to need to do that. If you run into problems, you can always go back and install those. Alright, so now that we've clicked download, there is another section here that asks you to hit download now right here. It's going to ask you for a donation. I would highly suggest donating to these guys. They do a great job with this. I've donated before, so I'm going to hit no thanks. And I'm just going to download the latest version right here on top. I did forget to mention that I already have the USB thumb drive inserted into my computer. And now we're just going to wait a few moments for it to download. And after it's downloaded, I'm just going to switch it over to the USB thumb drive. And as you can see, I created a folder called Retrobat, so I'm just going to drag it into there. And now we're going to run the installer just by double clicking. I'm going to select English as my language, hit next here, hit agree to the license agreement. And now here by default it's going to install it on my C drive. I want to install it on the USB thumb drive, so I have to find it here. There it is. I'm going to install it on that Retrobat folder and hit OK. And then hit install. This is going to take a while, so I'm just going to let it do its thing. Okay, so now setup is just about complete. Here it's going to ask me to create a desktop shortcut if I want to. Because it's on the USB drive, I'm not going to do that right now, so I'm just going to uncheck that. Okay, and now it is finished, so I'm going to click finish, and now I can open up Retrobat. And first I'm going to delete the installer, don't need this anymore. And now I'm just going to double click on the Retrobat application on the top. Since it's the first time starting it up, it might take a few moments. And as you can hear, there is a theme music playing when you're in the main menu. So I have my controller installed, or plugged in that is, and if I hit the start button, I could change the sound settings. So I'm just going to lower the system volume right here. And there's actually, on the fourth one down says front end music. You could actually completely turn it off. You could do that as well. Alright, so now the two main things you want or need are BIOS files and ROMs or games. If you want to play just the lower end systems like Atari 2600, SNES, Sega Genesis, I don't even think you need additional BIOS files. You could just drop the ROMs in the folders and start playing. But if you want to play some of the higher end emulators, you will need additional BIOS files. Now, to get the BIOS files, I would suggest you Google the Internet Archive. I have a folder filled with BIOS files, and I'm just going to drop them into the BIOS files folder in Retrobat. All right, now the thing to do is we need to copy over some ROMs or games over to Retrobat. You'll see here on the right there are a ton of folders for different systems. You see how many there are? It's really a lot. So I have on the left side, I have folders with some ROMs of each of these systems. So what I'm going to do is simply copy and paste them over to the corresponding folder. And you'll see the first one I'm doing here is for Atomic Wave. All right, next folder on my list is Dreamcast. So I'm going to find the Dreamcast folder under Retrobat right here. And I'm just going to copy these over. So again, I'm just copying over the ROMs over that I have on my hard drive on my computer onto the Retrobat ROMs folder that's on the USB drive. And I have about 12 or 13 folders here, so I'm just going to do this off camera and just finish setting, transferring the ROMs over to Retrobat. Okay, so now that's all done. I'm going to reopen Retrobat, and when I do, all those games I dragged over to the ROM folders, they should just be there. Okay, now if I scroll through the menu, it'll show me that I have some SNES games here. I think I have 12 GameCube games here. And I'm just gonna turn off that front end music now again. This time just permanently, I'm just gonna click or uncheck front end music. Back out. There we go. Now we still have to scrape images, but I'll do that in a moment. I just want to try out a game, see if it starts up. So let's try Aladdin. Okay, as you can see, it works well. So now I'm going to work on scraping some images and videos to make the front end look a little bit better. Okay, so the scrape images, hit start and go to scraper over here. And there's a couple of options to scrape from. Screen Scraper, you do have to create a login, and I do like to use this one. And once I hit Screen Scraper, I can go to Scraper Settings and put in my username and password on the bottom, as you see there. But there are free screen scrapers as well. I don't think they work as well, but Screen Scraper is free, so it's easy to go on their website and create a username and password. So I'm going to go ahead and enter in my password. All right, my username and password is set up now. And so now what we're going to do is hit Scraper. When you hit Scrape now, all 14 systems are selected, but I'm going to just do one because if I do all, it'll take a while. So I'll do Mega Drive Genesis right here. And I have only one system now selected, which is Sega Genesis. I'm going to hit scrape now. Of course, keep in mind you will need to be connected to the internet for this. And you'll see on the top right, it has started scraping. I have 26 Sega Genesis games. It's, it might take a few minutes to scrape these. So I'm just going to let that do its thing. And once it's done, it's going to say scraping finished. Update the game list to apply changes. So all you have to do is find update game list. All right, so I'm going to go to game settings. On the top, update game list. Hit OK. Really update game list, yes. And now when I go into Sega Genesis, I should have some nice artwork. Let's see. There you go. Looks great. It looks like I have two versions of Comic Zone and Contra. I gotta fix that. And it worked well. Even get a little video clip there. So that's good to go. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that for some other systems as well. And then after I do that, what I'm going to do is I'll try to install a new theme. So Retrobat has a bunch of different themes. Just go to Updates and Downloads. And you're going to click on Themes. And you'll see all the ones that you have as an option to download. So I'm just going to pick one and download one. And once you've downloaded a theme, it's very easy to switch back and forth. So what I'm going to do is hit Start button. I'm going to go to User Interface Settings, and here it says Theme Set. I have two options here. I'm going to switch it to the new one and click it on. It's going to load up. And there you go. I got the new theme ready to go. Looks great. I like this one a lot better. So I have plenty of space for more games on this thumb drive. It's not going to be one of those crazy thumb drives with, 50,000 games, but you get a decent amount of games on this. But what I'm going to do now is, because the whole point of this video is making this setup portable, I'm going to remove this from my main computer and change it over to a different one and see if I can start playing games right away. Alright, I am now on a different PC. I've installed or inserted the USB thumb drive into this particular PC, and I'm just going to start up Retrobat and see if it starts up with no issues and see if I can start playing a game right away. Alright, as you can see, Retrobat started up without any issues. Now I'm going to just start up a game. Alright, let's try Dolphin Blue. If you don't like the bezels here, you can remove them. That's totally up to you. I kind of like them. Alright, as you can see, the game's working, no issues whatsoever. Alright, I'm going to try one more game. I'm going to try a PSP game. I'm going to try Soul Calibur right here.
You better make this worth my while.
That's it! Show me you mean business!
Battle 1. Fight!
I'm starting to like you.
like I said, I can still add a ton of more games to this, and I now have a USB drive that I can move to different PCs to play retro games on. If you've used Retrobat before, let me know and tell me which would you prefer as far as front ends. Do you prefer Retrobat, launchbox, or bigbox, or maybe you prefer batocera? So that's going to be it for this video. Please hit that like and subscribe button. I would appreciate it. Thanks for watching.